the eastern part of the Uganda, rather Congo, and so on and so forth. And therefore, can we be that competitive anchor state both on road, rail, and air transport? And then so really we have to ensure that our tariffing and under the PPP Act, like I said, this act is available for all, and we'll just I'll be appearing. I think we should have been doing this, and I want to really make myself available subject to the concerns of sub judice to ensure that we work together on this PPP Act and ensure that whereas the PPP Act is 2021 approved by Parliament, we all really appreciate and understand what the PPP process entails.
All right. That sounds like Adani is a sure deal. It's coming. It's here.
I don't think so. Of course, if they go through the due process and it's good for Kenya, it's good for Adani, it's a win-win, why not?
Okay. There was a pending question. Who from the Office of the Attorney General was in India?
Allow me, if I'm not taking too much time, to basically read one of the step one from where the privately initiated investment proposal was sent to us on that particular date, and they paid the mandatory fees of $50,000. The contracting authority then conducted an initial review of the proposal against key parameters under the PPP Act, including value for money. The contracting authority then sent the proposal to the PPP Directorate for further evaluation. On stage number 5, the PPP Directorate set up evaluation committee, including relevant government agencies to review the proposal. That is where there's a team which you don't keep on nominating every day. So there's a team who have been walking this journey to ensure that as the proponent or KAA do what they must do and submit to the technical committee at the PPP Secretariat, they are guided accordingly within the due process of the law, and then that is the process. So there is a committee.
That's why I believe what you're saying. But the question I'm asking is, if the representative of Attorney General, their reports that they're not allowed to travel, how then can you assure yourselves that you're catered for in legal matters?
Let me say this. I personally talked to the Attorney General House in China, and I don't know whether somebody from the AG traveled or not. But don't forget that there'll be concurrence with the Attorney General at various steps of this process. And therefore, the concession agreement, you know, there's been an argument where should the AG be involved or should they stay out and be independent so that when they review, they are not seen to have been part of the process. So we could just be really...
What's your opinion? What should happen?
What has tended to happen with big projects is you would want somebody to walk the journey so that they understand, even though they are going to give an independent opinion of the whole thing. If they are not part of the journey, because these are very, like you've seen the process, a long journey, if they are not part of the journey, at the time of giving a legal opinion, they will almost have to be walked through the whole journey, and it will take time for them to understand. So it's neither here nor there. They want to take time later on to understand the whole concession final draft document before it goes for final approval. Then they can totally be independent and review the document and give their own independent opinion. But they can walk the journey and understand this complex process, and therefore, at the time of giving legal opinion, they have, to the extent that they understand the project, it becomes easy for them to give a legal opinion in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Otherwise, the legal opinion might be procured in 2 months.
Interesting. I think we have to leave it at that. But there's a question here. Let me just see. Why was this project not open to other partners such as AFDB who had expressed interest? Why was the tender not floated and operated on a shrouded mystery? Why is it that only Adani was given this privilege? I think you've tackled about Adani, but having more partners involved, including AFDB, what's your answer?
I think, I don't know how many private companies run private airports like Adani runs maybe 14 airports around the world today, and I've mentioned a few, including Ahmedabad, including Navi Mumbai, where they're building a 90 million capacity airport. But you seek opportunities to invest in the area of your competence, and Adani is in airports. To the extent that there is another private investor who manages airport, even if AFDB were to really invest, they'll possibly be investing under the umbrella of an operator who knows how to run airport, because AFDB is a bank. They can invest by putting in debt.
Okay.
They can invest by putting in equity. And this equity of 30% could end up being a consortium eventually. And therefore, you remember you asked me the name of who are the equity, who are in this equity 30%. It will come out. It could possibly be involving the Abu Dhabi. It can have...
Welcome back to Mora TV, and that was the interview with the CS of Transport and Infrastructure, that is Mr. Davis Chirchir, where he was in an interview on national television, Citizen TV. He was on an ongoing discussion where he started by saying that indeed through private-public partnership, Kenya needs to be very competitive, especially since it is a very big regional hub, so that it can be competitive in improving traffic, tariff and everything through air, rail, and road. That's why even they wanted public-private partnership to ensure that the highway from Mombasa to Nairobi and Malaba should be very passable and doable. That was one of the things. They also talked about rail, where they want to air the rail from Mombasa to Malaba so that it can really be competitive in terms of goods and service delivery. That's one of the things which he was talking about. So he was saying that indeed there needs to be reviews on or the PPP Act of 2021, which was enacted in Parliament, and he was asked whether Adani deal is a sure deal. He almost said yes, but he said that there is a lot of due diligence which needs to be looked upon, which needs to be checked before the deal is fully done. So and he was asked who was from the office of the Attorney General in India, and what was he doing there. So he said that the public-private partnership director set up a director committee to review the proposal from Adani, which needed to ensure that it's a win-win deal. So he said that indeed they had still to submit to the PPP directorate so that this thing could be reviewed. And so Sam Gituku then asked him again that what was that from why was one of the person from the the Attorney General, or why was the director from the Attorney General office denied travel to India? So Mr. Chirchir said that indeed Attorney General should be very independent, but he should also be allowed to walk the journey so that he can understand how these projects are done. But he should be independent so that he can evaluate these things independently, so that he can give his own opinion independently. That's why he was denied travel to India. I don't know, but that's what is being, or that's something which is floating there. So apart from that, somebody asked a question. These questions were coming in through tweets and other things. Somebody asked the question that why was this project not open to other partners like AFD who had expressed interest? He went ahead to say that the tenders should be given or was given to people with expertise. For example, Adani Airport Holding has specialized in airports and other things, and that's why it was only regarded to Adani. AFD, I really don't know what they do. So that's how the CS quickly defended that issue. He says only that Adani is known for airport, and he has 14 airstrips is operating, or airports in the world is operating. One of them being Amrabat Airport. I don't know which country it is, but I'm sure. Even Pasaris, the other said that Amrabat Airport is one of them good airports, and it was done by Adani. So he said that Adani, the reason why this project was not open to others because it was only open to those people who have expertise in this area. Again, he was asked why was the tender not floated. He never talked really much about this thing, but the question again draws that why was it only given to Adani? So that means that there's really a lot of things which are coming out about this project with the JKIA takeover and Adani, and it means that there are some heavy influences who really don't want to be exposed, and they're doing all it takes so that their names cannot be mentioned, because it seems like the Adani deal is already a done deal. That's what is being realized.